Hey guys, we are back. It's a brand new Screen Team right here on KWOC. We've got a good show for you. Jake is going to be joining us a little bit later on in the show to review a music documentary called The Last Waltz. We'll also have Toby in to review a movie called The Shack. But first up, we've got our good friend Logan in. Logan, it's been a while, man. How you been, brother?
I've been doing good. How you been, Chris?
Been really, really good. Now, a while back, you came to me and you're like, dude, there's this movie. It's called War Dogs. It's awesome. I loved it. We got to review it for the Screen Team. So that was months ago. I finally got you on now. You're welcome.
Thank you, Chris.
So War Dogs. So how'd you find out about this film, man? What got you into it?
Well, really, I didn't want to watch it because of the previews at first.
Mm-hmm.
It really turned me off because it just showed like blowing up and these two guys, like they stumbled upon it and it looked more like slap happy humor at first, and I was like really not into it at first.
So
on the previews.
But I thought you liked slap happy kind of humor.
Well, I do, but not in a serious role, something like that, because it's saying it's supposed to be actually happening and
based on a true story.
Based on a true story, and
Right.
like the previews at first until actually I had a buddy tell me, he said actually it was a pretty good movie, and I watched it and I was like, wow, it was not like I actually expected from the previews.
Yeah. The movie, like you said, is based on a true story. I don't remember the characters' names, but you've got Miles Teller's character.
Yep, that is David Packhouse, right?
Right. I think you got it right. Yeah,
Yep.
he's a young dude like you,
Yep.
trying to find his way in the world. He's a massage
Therapist.
Yeah.
And he sells sheets to nursing homes.
He's trying to make money, man. He's trying to provide for him and his girlfriend is pregnant, so they've got a little one coming on the way. So he's trying to make some money, and all of a sudden, at a funeral one day, he sees one of his best friends back from like junior high.
Yep, and it was like he was his crazy friend, and he had not seen him in forever, and he finds out his friend's pregnant. He's like, hey, I got a great job offer. He's like, I need you to come work with me. He's like, me and my uncle were doing this great thing. He's like, we can make money, you know.
Yeah.
He's like, just come with me.
And the job that he has for them is basically selling guns or ammunition or weapons of any kind to the government, right?
Yep. They're international arms traders to the government or whoever was the highest bidder, pretty much.
I mean, it's crazy. Apparently, there's this website where these guys would go to where the government would be like, okay, we need a certain amount of this, we need a certain amount of that, and people would bid on these particular projects, right?
Yep. They'd have other companies competing with them on the government, all these government contracts going for anything from grenades to tanks, airplanes, ships, handguns, whatever it was, ammunition.
Yeah.
And they were just fighting along with them, but they started out, they just want to do the small stuff. Yeah.
Well, they got a little bit bigger.
They did get a little bit
They
bigger.
got a little bit bigger, man.
They got a little bit over their heads is what they ended up doing.
Let's talk about that first trip where they were trying to sell, was it handguns?
It was handguns, and they were trying to take them, I forgot the country now. It was
Turkey, wasn't it?
Was it Turkey or was it Afghanistan? It was somewhere.
It's one of those Middle Eastern countries. They were trying to take it from there to Iraq because they were supposed to get shipped from Italy to Iraq, and then something happened
there was a big issue with the there was a trading embargo. Was that what it is?
Something like that.
Something like that, where they couldn't actually send the handguns over planes to where the area, so they actually had to fly over there and end up having to drive through the Triangle Death.
That was my favorite scene in the entire movie. There's this scene where they're at this gas station in the middle of nowhere in Iraq, and they've survived some pretty big sketchy stuff so far, and all of a sudden they look in the rear view of their mirror and they see like two big parties of Iraqis with guns in their hands ready to start some stuff. And they get out of there like a bat out of the hell, and their guy is like running, and he jumps on the car and he pours gasoline while the car's running.
Yep.
And then out of nowhere, the U.S. government comes and blows the other guys all to heck. And oh man, it was so funny. I laughed so hard at that.
That was my favorite, especially when they first leave the city with the driver, and they ask him, "What's our chances of making?" He's like, 50-50. What do you mean 50-50? He's like, 50-50. Like 50% chance we live or die? Yeah, 50-50.
Yeah, he's not from around here. He doesn't understand what 50-50 means. Yeah, that was good, man. I was really surprised. I kind of like Miles Teller every now and then, but I thought he did really, really good in this film. I really did. I enjoyed it. I laughed a lot. I found the film to be very intriguing, and It was based on a true story. You kind of see film clips of what happened to these guys at the very end of the film. I don't want to give it away, but it's definitely a very, very interesting story, and it was a cool story to tell. So I was surprised, and I really enjoyed it. What about you?
Oh, yeah, I definitely enjoyed it. I didn't know what to think of Jonah Hill's character, Ephraim Diveroli. At first, I liked him.
Yeah.
And I kind of thought, but later on, you find out he's kind of not the greatest of guys. And what's crazy about, which you find out later on the company, whatever, even if they get all in that trouble and everything, and it's still a real company, they're actually going to go back selling and going back into contracting and everything with the government.
Yeah, it's an interesting story. If you like movies that have to do, if you like movies with great comedy in it, great suspense and drama, this movie's got it, man. It's very, very good. The movie is called War Dogs, and you can find it on DVD. Logan, thanks for being on the show, man. We appreciate you.
Thank you for having me.
We'll be back with Toby. We're going to review The Shack. It's next on KWOC.